Hi, welcome back. So now that our installation is complete, we can go ahead and start writing some code. Okay. So from this session onwards, we will start to discuss some basics of Python programming. Okay. So when we start learning a new programming language, what is the first thing that we do? We print hello world. Okay. So let's do that. So to print hello world in Python, we have a very simple function known as print. Okay. So print, what we want to do, we want to print hello world into it. So print hello world. Now to run this, I will have to click run, okay, or I can even do control plus enter. Okay, I can hit control plus enter, or I can also hit alt plus enter. What control plus enter does is it simply runs that block. What alt plus enter does it runs that block and it creates an additional block for us to write some code. Okay, so you can choose anyone, whichever you want. So now let's try to print something else. Print, let's say, hey Mohit, yeah, and let's print another line. Print, how are you doing? Okay, how are you doing? Now I'm hitting alt plus enter, so it has created an additional block and it has also run the previous one. So it has printed both the statements in different lines. Okay, basically in different lines. If I want that the print statement should not go to the next line, I have a parameter known as end. If I enter end is equal to, let's say, comma, it is going to end with a comma rather than a next line. Okay. So basically, hey Mohit, comma, how are you doing? So both the statements have come in same line with the separator being comma. So basically the first statement has ended with a comma rather than the next line, right? So this is how we can use end. The next thing that I want to discuss with you is variables. What are variables? Okay. So as you can see, I have mentioned hash variables. What do I mean by hash? Hash basically means comments. Now why do we write comments? Comments basically help developers to make their code more readable. Okay. Now let's say if I write some code and you are reading my code. Even if I am not near to you, you would be easily able to read my code if I have proper comments. Okay, if I have proper comments, you will be able to understand what this code should ideally do. Okay, or say that if you read your own code after an year or two, if you have proper comments in there, you will automatically get to know what this code should do, and you will be able to understand the code very quickly. Okay, so what are basically variables? Variables are something in which we can store some data. Okay, let's say I want to store 10 in a variable. How I can do that? I can simply write a is equal to 10. So a is a variable which has 10 stored in it. Okay, if you are familiar with C++ or Java, you must already be knowing if we have to store an integer into a variable, we write something like int a is equal to 10. Okay, or int x is equal to 20. Now in that we had to mention that a is going to be a variable of data type int, but in Python we don't have to do that. Okay, Python recognizes on itself. Like if I try to ask the type of a, it is going to tell me that it is an integer type. Okay, it is an integer type. And another thing I want to tell you is that even if you don't write print over here, even if you just write type a, it is still going to tell you the answer. Basically whatever you write in the last line, you get in the answer. Okay, if I write like a over here, I am going to get 10. Okay, this time I did not get the answer of type a, I got the answer of a, I got the value of a. Basically whatever we have in the last line of the full block, let's say we have 100 lines in one block, if you run that, the last line is going to show as an output. Okay, obviously if I write print in front of it, I am going to get this thing in print, and in output I am getting 10. Okay, in output I am getting 10. Okay, let me take another variable b is equal to 20. Then obviously there is not going to be anything in the output. Now if I write b, I am going to get b in the output, and this is print statement. So obviously if I want everything to be shown in my window, I have to keep writing print to have that. If I just want to have a look at the output of the last line, I don't need to mention print, it is automatically going to come in the output. Okay. So I hope this particular thing is clear and what variables exactly are, right? So in the next session we will look at few other things like number data type, then we will look at strings and many more things. So I'll see you in the next session. Thank you.